Okay, when we left off last time, we had just finished animating the turtle floating through the scene, and we're going to continue on and finish this animation. Next thing I want you to do is to add the music stinger to the timeline. And you don't really have to do anything to this other than just drag it down and put it at the bottom of the layer stack. And it's going to play and make some noise. Now, I will tell you, it's a good idea always to start with your music or your voiceover or whatever it is that you're going to be animating. You're always going to be cutting video to the audio. The audio has a rhythm and a cadence, and it's going to have cues at which certain things happen. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is edit the turtle in the background. Now, first of all, we're going to go ahead and twirl up this turtle layer here. And we're going to click on the turtle in the background. That's got that guy right there. And make sure you're at the beginning of the timeline. And what I want you to do is to type P for position and set a keyframe. Stopwatch icon. You know how to do that by now, right? And we're going to go all the way to the end of the timeline now. And we can do one of two things. We can either drag the first set of numbers here, the X or the horizontal, to the left, or if you want to, you can just reach up and grab the turtle. And if you see how you're not constrained here, but if you hold shift, it will constrain in a 90-degree direction. And so I want you to go just, halfway or so across the screen, not too far. All right, now for the fish layer, let's go ahead and twirl up turtle. And let's go to fish now, and we'll type P for position there. Make sure you're at the beginning of the timeline, and we're going to set a keyframe for position. And we're going to go the other way with this. Now we're going to go all the way to the end of the timeline, and we'll go about a quarter of the way across the screen, something like that for these guys. Not too far. Now we're kind of simulating 3D here, 3 dimensions. The third dimension being depth. So the fish in the background are a little farther away than the turtle in the foreground. And things in the background in 3D appear to be moving slower than those in the foreground. That's just the way things work in 3 dimensions. Things that are off in the distance appear to be moving more slowly. Look at an airplane up in the sky that's way far away from you. It looks like it's just creeping across the sky. It's really doing 500 miles an hour. So things that are farther away look like they're moving slower. So now we're going to twirl up the fish and background layer here. You could also press the U key if you wanted to. And now we're going to work on the background layer. And what I want you to do is come over to the far right side of the screen. You're looking for a tab that says Effects and Presets. Click on Effects and Presets. You should get a little spinning circle there for a few seconds while Adobe thinks about all the effects that it has in here. And there are a lot of them. We're going to be talking about only a few this semester, but it's really fun and educational to experiment with these guys. A bunch of them in there just immediately, they're pre-animated and they'll show you some really cool thing. Some of them don't appear to do anything. If you run into that, you can take whatever the name of that effect is and just Google it, and you're going to learn how to do that effect. There's also, of course, the help function up here, and you can type it in there as well. So what I want you to do is to click in the search bar right here. I want you to type in the word turbulent, Turbulent, and we're going to get two things, turbulent displace, turbulent noise. We want turbulent displace. Now we're going to take this guy and drag it down onto the background layer. And right away, I'm sure you notice that everything's sort of changed as we drug that onto that layer. Well, we're going to animate that. It's going to make it look kind of ripply. Now, if you look over on the top left of the screen, What used to be the project window has been replaced by something called effect controls. Now the project window hasn't gone anywhere, it's just hiding from you. And this little double arrow right here, if you click on that, there you'll see the project window. But right now we want effect controls. So here's what I want you to do. We're going to set the amount to 15. We're going to set the size to 30. And feel free to experiment with these. Now for evolution, I want you to set a keyframe, and then we're going to move to the end of the timeline, and we're going to set evolution to 3. So that means it's going to evolve 3 times. So let's see how it works. We'll go to the home position on the timeline, press the space bar. It's going to take a few seconds to render out. And that's our animation so far. You can see that that movement in the background is kind of subtle. We don't really want it to call a lot of attention to itself. We just want it to be happening. So the turtles are moving, the fish are moving, and the background is kind of ripply. So if you wanted to experiment with this, try a larger amount, or a larger or smaller size, or more evolution. Now again, we are going to pre-compose. So I want you to select the 3 remaining graphic layers in the timeline. That's the turtle, the fish, and the background. And we're going to right-click and pre-compose. Name it your name, background elements. And we don't need to see the new composition. We don't need to open it. So we're just going to uncheck that box and we'll click OK. We've already done everything we need to do in that. It can disappear and we won't miss it. And you can see now we have replaced those 3 layers with a new composition. Now, if you ever do want to look at this composition again, you just double click on it and it will open for you here. And so let's go back to whatever our final was. What is it? OC final? Is that right? Yeah. Now we need to go back to our project window. So we click on those double arrows up in the upper left and choose project. And we're going to look for the OC logo Illustrator file. And we're going to bring this logo in between the 2 pre-comps that we've created. And so you should see it look like so. So we're going to make a couple of adjustments here. Let's go ahead and make an adjustment to position. So we'll type P. And we're just going to set the vertical adjustment to 470. And what that's going to do is it's going to move it up a little bit on the screen. And now let's make an adjustment to scale. S for scale. And let's go to the end of the timeline and set a keyframe. And we're going to set the size, the scale, to 80%. It's a little big. And we'll move to the beginning of the timeline and we'll set the scale to 60%. And let's add an effect to this now as we bring it in. I want you to go up to Effects and Presets, and you can either select what's in there or you can just press the little X to clear that out. And we're going to type in the word ripple. And we're looking for the transition called Dissolve Ripple. And we're going to bring this on to the OC logo layer. And let's go ahead and press the U key to reveal our animating keyframes. And we'll see, oh, okay, there's something here, Dissolve Master Control. So it's actually animating for us. We had the playhead at the beginning of the timeline, and it added 2 keyframes for us. So when we play through this, okay, well, there you go. There you see the ripple transition happening. So we're going to take the last keyframe, move it to 2 seconds. And we'll take the first keyframe, move it up to 15 frames. So it's not starting absolutely at the beginning. So let's see what we got. So you can see that the turtle is in front of the type. Okay, uh, that can be demonstrated here. I'll go ahead and twirl this up because there's the turtle. It's on top of the type layer. Okay, if we move the type on top here, it's going to be on top. Okay, so whatever's on top is going to have priority. Okay, let's finish this up now. I want you to go up and choose the type tool. It's the T up here. Okay, now look over here on the right-hand side of your screen and you're going to see our type dialog. Okay, I want you to set your type to Gill Sans, and in the PC land, Gill Sans regular is what comes up. You have more choices for Gill Sans, I believe, on the Mac side, but Gill Sans MT regular is what we're looking for. We're going to make sure it's regular, set the size to 90, and make sure that the color is white. Now, a couple other things we can do real quick before we start typing. If you click on the paragraph tab, I want you to go ahead and set the text to center. And now, with the type tool chosen, we'll just double click. And what that's going to do is set our cursor in the middle of the screen. I want you to type Ocean Conservancy.org. And we'll go up and get the selection tool. And we're going to drag this just below the type. Now hold shift so that it retains its position. It constrains. And we'll go something like that. We don't want to go too far. Don't want to get too close. Let's move to 315 in the timeline. This lets the turtle kind of clear the screen. And we'll type T for transparency, or as you know now, opacity. And we're going to set a keyframe. Now we're going to move back to 3 seconds. And we're going to set opacity to 0. Now we've created a little dissolve. The type comes in with a little dissolve. We'll go back to 315 here. That's the end of the animation for the type. Let's go ahead and twirl that up. Now what we need to do is our Ocean Conservancy logo moves a little bit. Okay, it scales. So you'll notice that we set keyframes earlier for the logo in the background. Well, we want the text to move along with that logo. And it's very easy to do. We're going to do something called parenting. We are going to make the logo layer the parent and the text layer the child. And the way we do that is over here with this little squiggly line called the pick whip. So for the text layer, if you grab the pick whip and you pull it down onto the lettering here for OC logo and let go, now we can see we have created a parent. It's what this is reading for you as my parent is layer 3 OC logo. Okay, so wherever OC logo goes, so goes the text. You can see that the text is moving a little bit. Okay. Now something else we want to do is as the text comes in and the logo comes in, we want to take the emphasis off of the background and focus the attention on the text and the logo. The way we're going to do that is with a blur. So we're going to go back to Effects and Presets. We'll clear out the search function, and we're going to type in blur or Gaussian blur. G-A-U-S-S. There's Gaussian blur. There's two of them actually. There's one that's under obsolete. Guess what? You're not going to use that one. Okay. These obsolete effects have to remain in there. If you have created something in a previous version and you open that project, you use that Gaussian blur effect, and it's not there anymore, well, your project is broken. So they keep these obsolete effects in the software. So we'll take Gaussian blur and we're going to move it onto the background elements layer. Okay. So we'll go to 15 frames in the timeline. So we're going to set over here in Effect Controls a keyframe for blurriness. And I want you to click this box for Repeat Edge Pixels. This makes sure that all of the blur extends out beyond the edges of the comp. We'll move to 2 seconds in the timeline, and we're going to set the blurriness to 30. Hit OK, and now you can see that the background layer has blurred out. And we are done. Let's look at it. Takes a little second to render here. It's moving slowly the first time through. As you'll notice, the green bar paint across the screen here. Once it gets to the end, now it'll play in real time. See how that's working? All of those different effects coming together. Nice. Last thing to do now for us is to save, Control or Command S, and export. Now there's several different ways to export, but here's the way that I want you to do it. I want you to go File, Export, Add to Adobe Media Encoder Queue. Now, this is going to take a bit. It's opening another application. Okay, so it took about, I don't know, 3 minutes to load this completely. And once you have something listed over here, which is your project, you'll know that it has completely listed. But man, Adobe Media Encoder has gotten really slow over the last couple of versions. Anyway, here's what I want you to do. I want you to click on the down arrow on the left, and I want you to choose from the list HEVC H.265. Folks, if you have been using H.264 in the past, H.265 is the new one. That's the one I want you to use. This is good for 4K. This allows us to be able to broadcast 4K stuff without choking the whole system. It's about half again as efficient as H.264 was, so it's really good. Now we're going to click on the down arrow next to Preset, and we're going to choose HD 1080. You could also choose Match Source High Bitrate, but it's going to create a somewhat larger file if you do that. The quality is going to be a little bit better. Now we'll click on the output file name, and I want you to name it. Remember now, this is a practice project. You're doing your own thing on this. Absolutely do the practice project, but I don't want you to turn it in. You're creating your own thing, right? So you're going to put your name in here, and we'll change that to Project 1. PROJ 1. Okay? And put it someplace that you'll know where it is. Okay? This for me was going into my cloud storage. I'm just going to go ahead and put it on the desktop for now. And we'll click Save. And now we need to click the green arrow right up here for the start queue. It won't take very long. It's only a 7-second animation. And once it's done, you'll get a green check mark over there indicating that it is ready. Now, this is the same procedure you'll do for the rest of the semester. I want you to upload your video files to YouTube. or Vimeo. Personally, I use YouTube. And if you don't already have a YouTube channel, you should create one, first of all. And then you'll go up and click on the little camera here and go to upload video. And you can either click on this to select the file manually, or if you've got Explorer or the Finder open, you can go and get the file and drag in. Where is it? There it is. So we would just drag that guy over into there, let it upload. Okay. Now you can go ahead and as you're going through the process, you can write any sort of notes that you want to tell me or your classmates about in the dialogue that's presented to you, and you'll click OK. Remember, these should all be set to public. These animations should all be set to public, please, and not private or unlisted. From there, you will go into Blackboard. You will write a 1 or 2 paragraph self-critique. And I want you to tell me all about what kind of effects you used, what kind of problems you had, or what kind of joys you had in the process. Really, did you learn something really cool? Tell us about it. Did you have some challenges? And be sure to embed your video. There's instructions on how to embed the video in Blackboard. I'll be posting those here for you. And that'll make it easy for everybody else to watch the video, to read your self-critique, and respond with our own critiques of your project. Okay, good luck, have fun, and let me know if you have any questions.